Welcome to Sideshow Con 2021. This is the HQ. Welcome to our ESPN desk.
This is absolutely amazing. I don't want to, trumpet it too much, but look behind us. Look behind us.
It's right here. Everything you guys want to see is right here, and we are going to get to it in just a minute. But seriously, before we do any of that, thank you all so much for joining us today and throughout the entire week. This is booth tour number 1. There is so much stuff behind here, and of course, we've got Alex and Amy who are going to get into all of it, but there's so much that we need to break it up into 2 of them. So you've got the one right now at 10 a.m. Pacific. Our next one is at 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock.
2 p.m. Pacific, where you can see the rest of everything in the booth. I think we should probably get started pretty soon. Again, if you guys are all registered, head over to side.show/con21. You can register. Again, exclusive giveaway opportunities, reward codes opportunities, and you may need to check your email that you registered with very soon. Just saying, there might be something fun in there for you all. I mean, how you feeling? Ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready. We've been preparing for this week-long madness of Sideshow Con for a while.
And it's here.
And we have a full week of this. This is just day 1. There's 4 different booths we're showing you this week. Every single time that we are here, you're seeing new stuff.
Oh yeah. We have, we're swapping them out constantly. Constantly swapping out different booths. And again, today you're gonna see everything for the first time, and then tomorrow it's the fan request tour with me and Guy Klender, where you guys drive everything that we have going on. You're gonna let us know exactly what you wanna see. If you wanna see it once, twice, 3 times, or I'm not counting past 3. So if you wanna count past 3, that's fine. But if you want to see it more than that, let us know. That is your show. All right. Are we ready?
I think we're ready. All right, so without further ado, let me introduce Alex and Amy. Let's get to the booth tour. Welcome to Sideshow Con.
What is going on?
All right, guys. Oh my goodness. So we are here day 1 of Sideshow Con. As Paul and Chris mentioned, there are going to be a lot of things to show you throughout the booth. We've got different days themed. You guys can see we've got some cool specialized character banners. There's a color code for each day, so you guys know exactly what day of Sideshow Con you are watching. And this is day 1. This is the first show.
I can't even believe I got a quick peek, and I didn't even get to look at anything detailed. I'm so excited. You're going to be very excited.
We've got Star Wars. We've got Marvel. We've got a little bit of everything else. But today, we're going to jump right in with some Star Wars stuff. So let's take it over here with some new reveals. We are sure you guys are itching to see those new reveals. So we've got some premium formats right over here. Let's get started with the Rey premium format figure by Sideshow. This is a quarter scale representation of Rey as she appeared in The Rise of Skywalker. You guys can see Kylo right alongside her. These pieces look amazing together. These are both brand new reveals that we are so excited to have here for you. We got Rey on a turntable, so I'm going to give you a little bit of that dynamic action that's going on here. She is on a base themed after, of course, the 2nd Death Star. Look at the water spray going on there.
That's my favorite part. Like it's amazing. Like not only is her dynamic pose insane, but look at the water, how it gets all foamy at the end. It's like water. It's water.
It's a really great recreation of the scene. You guys can see that she has a fully fabric outer costume. She's got the hood on the back and the really nice tabards with some wire in them, which are detailed for posing, so you can really emphasize that jumping posture. She's also got a faux leather belt going on that holds her pistol, and then you do see she has a sculpted undersuit that does continue that fabric motion throughout the piece. And I love her hair.
Her hair is so incredible, and I'm actually really focusing in on the boots, like the paint app on here where it looks like real leather. That is incredible.
Those look so soft and worn, and they've got the nice straps along the back as well. Yeah, and then for me, I mean, you know hair, but every good Star Wars heroine is defined by her hairstyle, and this is yet another great one, capturing this evolution of her character. She's got the bright blue lightsaber. And this is just a fantastic likeness. Very excited to have this piece here, especially alongside Kylo. And we do have this Wayfinder accessory. That will be an exclusive edition. She's still in a prototype phase right now, so we're not sure if this is included or an exclusive, but if you are a fan of even more proximity pieces to display in your collection, you're gonna want that Jedi Wayfinder that she sought so hard after.
Yeah, and then, I mean, And if you get him close, you could see all the really great like marbling details of like the worn away rock. It's like insane.
And each of the panels on the Wayfinder also has that screen that you see on it as well. Very cool, like details
Texture.
of where to find Exegol.
Yeah.
So alongside her, we do have the Kylo Ren premium format figure. This is also a brand new reveal that we are excited to share here. They look great together, not only because of the matching bases, but also because of the light and the dark, the color scheme going on here, and also
really play
the
off
demeanor.
Each other. Yeah, and like they're so, the concentration on both of their faces is what I love about the sculpt and the paint app of this. I mean, his face, I can't get over it. I'm freaking out a little bit how lifelike it is.
The subtle bags under his eyes as he is pleading with her. He is reaching out his hand, and I love that she's responding with the kind of aggression and uncertainty of jumping and leaping at him. These two look great alongside each other, but if you face them off, you've got an even more intense showdown. And speaking of characters' hair, I love that windswept look that we're getting with Kylo, the kind of almost wet sea spray as kind of beads of hair cling to his face.
Yeah, and that's amazing too, because like you have little swatches, little, getting in front of his eyes and everything like that. It's like really, really exclusive. Oh, and there's also a...
There's going to be a helmeted portrait for Kylo. We don't have it on display currently, but you can RSVP at sideshow.com/coming soon for both of these pieces before they go up for pre-order. To RSVP to be notified when they launch. We'll have full solicitation information, but Kylo will come with a helmeted head. And you guys can also see, like the Rey, he has a very detailed mixed media costume. We've got the sculpted, the kind of... I'm bad with costuming terms, but the really cool tunic that has almost like a quilted texture,
pattern.
but that's all sculpted. And then of course we've got the
cloak.
The cloak.
The cloak, and even the back of the cloak is really amazing over here, and it's like a lot of the line work, and then the wire in it just give it that really like lifelike flow.
Yeah, especially with the action. I love when a piece has motion in the sculpt, so you can kind of be informed of where to pose the cape.
Yeah.
You've got that windswept direction in the hair, so you can really use that to inform the cape. And Sam, hopefully you're catching the full wingspan of that massive cloak, because it is really awesome on this piece. And he does have a hood. And I like when they also do the inner lining is a bit slicker, and the outside has a kind of a faux leather texture to it as well.
And it gives it that, it makes it look more alive. It makes it look lifelike.
Yeah, just really great pair of pieces for fans of the sequel trilogy. This is kind of almost the ultimate version of each of these characters at the ends of their journeys.
Right. This is like the moment. This is like the face down moment, and you have both of them. And I can't get. I'm going to keep going back to the base because I absolutely love the sea spray. But his lightsaber, Kylo's lightsaber, the energy around it is intense.
Yeah, there's veins of sculpted energy kind of giving that effect of how he had the jagged blade because of the corrupted crystals inside, and just a unique way to capture that in static motion, but you still get the feeling of all that movement.
Right. Ooh, beautiful piece.
Beautiful pieces. Again, you can RSVP to be notified when those go up for pre-order at sideshow.com/coming soon. Up next, we're going to take a little look at a life-size recreation of a prop replica. We've got the Mandalorian 1-to-1 helmet by EFX. Now, this is
spectacular.
Beautiful. It's so, it's shiny from where we are sitting, you can see that. But there's also a nice degree of weathering and...
Yeah, you see the weathering around on the top and around the eyes.
For me, I get clean and nice is great for these characters, but these characters are out in battle. This is a bounty hunter. We want to
living it. We want to see a lived-in helmet, and this is a lived-in. This is and even down here on the bottom, like what do we call these, cheekbones?
I call them cheekbones, but I don't think that's the technical term for a helmet.
We'll look out for some corrections on that. But
near the visor.
Yeah, near the visor, and even the weathering around there, because he's seen battle, he's seen action.
Yes, especially the areas around the eyes and where the rangefinder kind of usually is on a Mandalorian helmet. Just really great, and the sleekness and the darkness of that visor. The character is so mysterious. So having that be completely impenetrable, as you cannot see what's going on.
No light getting in there.
Behind his eyes. It's just a really, really cool piece to have in your home. And I would love to see how people display these replica helmets. You can have them mounted. You could have...
sleep in it. Put on
don't recommend
Don't recommend it.
But a beautiful, beautiful piece by EFX. So... next up, speaking of amazing helmets.
Yeah, amazing
helmets. None other than Darth Vader himself. This is the Darth Vader premium format figure by Sideshow. Now, he is currently available for pre-order on our website. Again, talk about the mixed media going on here. Just, there are so many unique aspects to his costume that have been captured here in the sculpt. Almost the lining of the pants.
The pants thing really gets me, because like you think like, oh, is that going to be leather or pleather? Like, no, they sculpted that detail, and that's impressive.
And it all the folds and action of it, and just it does look like it has that soft, plush, almost quilted texture to it. But we do have a number of fabric elements here as well, including the tabards and the cloak that go over his costume, and a faux leather belt holding on to some of his, the Vitality life box.
Life boxes,
this piece has 2 swap out hands. We are currently seeing the kind of enraged, the Force hand.
Come to me because I want to hurt you.
Or don't choke on your aspirations. But he does also come with a hand that is lowered at his side for a more pre-battle, menacing, almost more frightening when he's not angry.
Yeah, when his hand is at the side, you're like, I can't read him, and so it's even scarier. But yeah, this one.
And he is picking up the shine from our lights really well. I mean, that helmet is so beautifully glossy. And the lightsaber does come with a light up effect in the arm. It is not currently on display, but you guys can see we've got him on a pedestal provided by Pedestal Source with the amazing red lights. I mean, I think that's a great, when you catch the gloss underneath him. And then he is on a Mustafar Castle themed base, so kind of his base of operations.
And I love the red, the flaming outline of the symbol on it. It looks like it's lit up, but that's just paint application. And I think that's amazing.
Yeah, that's just a really great
paint effect.
Paint effect with the lighter kind of colors towards the center, so it does look like it's exuding heat. And
yeah, all around the base too. All these little like lava flows. It looks lit up, and I think that's amazing.
The artists do such an amazing job capturing those things. I mean, you get a lot of those burned textures in Star Wars with people swinging their lightsabers around. So there's a lot of great effects, and we do have another premium format that we'll be showcasing later who's got a lot of that going on the base as well. So let's take it to some 6 scale figures next. We're gonna shrink it down to size, but these pieces are no less impressive. They are highly posable. We've got a trio of different characters here. These are all 6 scales by Sideshow. Let's start down front with Grievous. This is the General Grievous 6 scale figure by Sideshow. He stands over 16 inches tall. The typical character, if you're a 6-foot human, you're about 12 inches tall in 6th scale, but
Grievous is massive. He's just a massive.
Grievous is not your average human. Of course, he is 16 inches tall. You can see all of the complex mechanical structure in these highly posable elements to him. I mean, you can twist his wrists. You are seeing the configuration with the 4 separated arms.
I love the 4 split arms because, I wish I could be that limber with 2 arms, but I can't. He's rocking it with 4.
Well, and it's a great solution for someone who has killed as many Jedi as he has and taken their weapons. I mean, there's you want to get some use, you got to use the lightsabers.
Functionality, not just fashion.
Trained in the Jedi arts. So this is, but for those of you who would prefer to see the 2-arm configuration, that is also a swap out feature here. He does come with the lightsabers, and there's additional hilts. I don't know if we can see it inside of the cape, but his cape does have pockets for stashing the lightsabers, and the cape is also removable. It's got the Separatist symbol on the back, which is really nice with that.
And the red on the inside is it pops out. But I love his feet. I love his Grievous feet, and that's a great thing for when you want to pose them to have like a nice spread out option.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not an articulation scientist, but I mean, from here you can see he's got the knee joints, but his feet have so many degrees of not only just bending, but also rotating. So you can really get those exaggerated poses with him, the leaping, and just really, really cool ways to extend the figure. He also has some battle damage on him, of course, because he has seen many fights. We've got weathering in the white armor pieces.
And down here as well, you see it all over. Even in the cloak, you see a little bit of the wear.
Yeah, and the nice thing is that the figure hands have magnets in them for holding the sabers. And he does come with an electro staff as well if you want to pose him. Whole armory going on there. But what good is a Separatist general without others to fight in the Clone Wars? We've got a pair of Clone Wars figures first revealed on May the 4th this year, and they're making their Sideshow Con appearance, and we are so excited to have these here. These are previews, so they are not yet available for pre-order, but again, go to sideshow.com/coming soon, RSVP to be notified when these bad boys go up for pre-order. I guess they'd be good guys, they fight on behalf of the Jedi Council.
The Jedi Council.
So first up, we've got the Anakin 6-scale figure. I love how tall and slender he is. Just a really nice figure, and the costume really accentuates his specific body type based on their animated appearances.
And it really captures the entire look that they had from the animated series in the body too. You know, because we love to look at the head sculpts too, but the body sculpt is really perfect for his form.
And there's something about the hands too. I mean, the joints have a little bit more of that squared off texture to them. Like his portrait, like his hairstyle, to really capture that animated feel. Now, both he and Obi-Wan come with a number of swap-out hands. They also, of course, have their lightsabers, and they also have an additional hilt if you want to display it with them sheathed. There's a really interesting aspect to these lightsabers as well, with the tapered end that has the kind of pointed tip to the saber.
Right, because in the movies they were always, more rounded or anything like that, but in the animated series they were specifically made them look more sword-like with that tip, and they captured that here.
Yeah, these are just so much fun, and the detail in the fabric costumes, you can see all the way down to the layers. There's the undershirt, there's the overcloak, there's these tabards, there's the faux leather belt again, and we've got the pants as well, so you can really manipulate that fabric as you're posing them.
Yeah, it comes all the way down, and I love the boots now that I just noticed it. It has the same like angled, squared off edges of the animated series.
Yeah, and then if we go up to Obi-Wan, we can take a look at that. He does have some gesture hands as well. Of course, they have hands for holding the sabers, but there are gestures Force users, especially because Obi-Wan had such a unique lightsaber stance. And one of the other things that they each come with besides their lightsabers is they each have a unique holo communicator, holo projector. Anakin comes with Ahsoka, so he can coordinate with his Padawan, and Obi-Wan Kenobi comes with Commander Cody, so he can coordinate with the clones.
Yeah, and again, the fact that he has all the Obi-Wan Kenobi special, all of his hand gestures were so iconic to him, and I'd love to see it on it.
Now, before we move on to Kotobukiya, I have to ask, what do you think of that beard?
I mean, it's so much nicer than I want to know who his barber is.
You're like, I want the Clone Wars cut.
I want the Clone Wars cut. I'm going to walk in and be like, can you make that a dead straight line, just like Obi-Wan Kenobi? I can never match that beard.
But again, the way that the shapes are captured in the hair sculpts and portraits, it's amazing. Very excited to have these. These should be up for pre-order very soon, but you'll want to RSVP to be notified so you get the drop on them as soon as they show up.
Sideshow.com/what's new.
So, because Obi-Wan has a way of dropping in on people unexpectedly. Unexpectedly.
Right.
But now we've got a couple of pieces over here from Kotobukiya. These are their art effects collectibles. Let's start over here with the Mandalorian. We've got a lot going on here. This is a really fun, the gunslinger.
The action pose on this is like
The Mandalorian brought us back to that. We had some spaghetti westerns. I mean, we had the Marshal of Mos Pelgo. And this is a real on the draw. We're not fighting with lightsabers anymore. We've got blasters. We've got our wits and our cunning.
I mean, this is a showdown piece. Like, this is like a showdown pose. Like I want to see what the other side of this is like.
Yeah, I'd hate to see the other guy on the end of Din Djarin's blaster.
Yeah.
But this is fully sculpted to capture all the details of his costume. You can see that he has the Mudhorn signet on his shoulder. There's a really nice silver coloration to his armor to give him that signature shine. And then, of course, on our desert wasteland themed base, who should we have but Grogu?
Hiding down there behind the barrel, just so adorable.
Yeah, let's get in on that. Oh, that is such a cute angle, because there's a lot of great ways to display this. I mean, of course, the Mando is the focus in his pose, but then you spot, this is who he's protecting. This is who it's all for.
And they give more of the, I like how there's the stonework in the back. They have the box and the bucket over here. I mean, I don't know what's in that bucket, but just to give it more of an environment now. It's not just, one piece, it's a whole environment down there on the base.
Yeah, this is available for pre-order on our website right now, so if you are ready to pull the trigger on that, you can check that out at our website. Check out the Kotobukiya manufacturers page. There's just a lot of great detail going into this. And again, they've also got some of the battle weathering in there. It's just those careful paint applications that really make a piece sing and give you the idea that, okay, this is not just a collectible that has stepped off.
It feels like it's living there.
It feels like
it's living there. Like I said, with all the paint apps and everything, the used sort of situation, the paint makes it look like you're actually living in the situation.
Yes. So up next, we've got a really interesting piece. I mean, I know
I'm obsessed with this.
Talked about helmets, we've talked about designs. This is the Darth Vader Industrial Empire statue by Kotobukiya. Again, their art effects. This is such an interesting piece. Because there have been many reimaginings of different Star Wars characters. We've seen lots of different interpretations, of course, canonical, and then we've got this steampunk-inspired Darth Vader. I love the Sith symbol on his forehead in that contrasting silver, where we've got the nice rivets and different pieces of armor that look like they've almost been welded together.
I like how it's a little bulkier too, you know what I mean? Because it's like, you're thinking it's like even further back in time with that steampunk style look that, everything's a little bit bulkier on him.
A little more fashion over practicality, but especially for a character like Darth Vader, when you get that really intimidating silhouette, he's got a fabulous cape that goes around, also sculpted, of course.
And the leather, it looks like leather. All the grooves and creases in the leather, they did a really great job on sculpting it, giving that dynamic, alive feel.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that contrasts really well with the glossier paint job that we do see in the black traditional aspects. But I love the way that they've emphasized so many highlights and lines with the gold, like especially the kind of grills of his mouth.
And the rivets around the top.
Yeah, and like the breathing apparatus just around his neck as well. You get a little bit more of a sense of like, that's life support. That's how he was constructed. And then we've, of course, got that nice, clear red lightsaber going on there.
And, of course, I love all the valves and all the little, almost crystals in the front, I love it.
Yeah, it just really makes him more of the mechanism and the man that he is. So that is available for pre-order on our website, and it comes with an art print for the Industrial Empire, which I like that, that pun we've got going on there.
I love putting an art print behind a nice piece.
Yeah. All right, so next up, we've got a massive collectible. So you guys saw the 6 scale version of him. Yeah. This is the quarter scale version of General Grievous.
Intimidating.
I am a huge droid fan, and I am a fan of everything Clone Wars and prequels, so this is just so cool to see this representation of him. This is not the first Grievous premium format figure we have ever done, but if you are a longtime Sideshow collector, you'll know it's been quite a while.
Quite some time.
Now this is a mixed media collectible. You guys can see that he has, this is one of the capes to end all capes. Yeah. I mean, again, we've got that beautiful inner red lining. If I may be so bold, right there, you can see the pockets.
Yep.
For stashing his lightsabers. Now he does not come with additional accessories for that, but you can see he does have all of his lightsabers on display, those stolen trophies.
And the base over here, I mean, I love again when you have a nice lightsaber cut in a base. Nice and mechanical. You want to turn this?
Yeah, let's turn it around a little bit, kind of get you guys some of the side view. You guys can see, again, as we were talking about those segmented legs, if you are a more tactile collector, you can really get your hands on that with the 6th scale. But if you want him pre-posed, ready to go, this is the quarter scale.
And at this size, you can even see more of the weathering and everything like that. The weathering on this thing is insane, especially the metal up here and over here on the white bone colored pieces.
Yes.
But yeah, it looks really used, lived in, and it even continues into the cape. I just want to go real quick down here to the cape. Like, it's all stained, and it's got, this has been a lived in cape. You know what I mean? They did.
You've got the symbol again on the back.
That beautiful symbol on the back. Let's bring this back around.
Yeah, and actually in the side view again, just while we're here and catching the light, can you see how you can see into his chest? I mean, that is such a signature part of him as we get to see the cybernetic pieces that help him live and breathe, because he is a cyborg. Yeah. Almost unidentifiably so, but just that clear...
Like, what's alive in him anymore?
Yeah.
Who
knows?
Get to see it, yeah.
But you also get a really nice look at those gnarly eyes going on behind the piece. Just a mechanical marvel in cast and sculpt. Just a beautiful piece. And there's a lot of fun lighting effects going on around the base. It does not light up, but here you guys can see this is the quarter scale representation. Again, we're going to stand here for a little bit of scale, because he's also very wide. We don't have exact dimensions. This is the prototype, but as you guys may or may not know, I'm 5'9", and I'm
5'11".
Nice. And so this is... This is General Grievous alongside the both of us. Yeah, just a great piece. And I just love being able to see inside the chest. Like, that's such a weird detail that wouldn't come up very often, but the longer you have these pieces in your collection, the more
stare at them, more unfolds, you get to see more stuff.
Tell me your story. And he does. So this is available on our website for preview right now. It also does have a removable cape, so you can display it without the cape ultimately if that's what you choose. But again, just so excited to be debuting this alongside so many other Star Wars pieces that we've got going on here.
It's like I've got 2 Grievouses now that I need to get. You know what I mean? And it's all at the same time. I'm like, oh, good. I had 1 Grievous on my list. Now I got 2.
Well, we'll make sure to file your list of Grievouses with our customer support team. All right, so up next, we've got the Ahsoka Tano premium format figure. She was exclusively revealed by D23 earlier this year, and then she made an appearance at our May the 4th show. This is, of course, everybody's favorite Togruta, as she appeared based on, this is inspired by her Rebels animated appearance. So you get to see she's a little older. Her Montrals and Leku have matured. Lots of great details going on here. This is a fully sculpted piece as well. So you can see she has a sculpted costume. She's got the tassets on the sides of her skirt with some of those nice kind of etched in details.
The etched in details is what's killing me too, because it's not just painted on. I love when it's sculpted in, because then it makes it pop out in your eyes more.
Yes, and there's the nice textures around the edges. And I love the way it all connects at her belt in the front, which again, fully sculpted to the piece to help capture this dynamic motion. She does have her signature lightsabers, one of which is shorter than the other. That is completely accurate. And I just love the intensity of her portrait. Just
Her
it's
face
so beautiful.
she's concentrating, and then again, she's another one who had really signature hand gestures when she was fighting, and just to have it right here up in the front is awesome.
Yeah, so this is available for pre-order on our website right now. There is an exclusive edition, which we don't have the accessory here, but there's a proximity piece of Morai. So if you want to display her alongside her Convor companion, you can do that with the exclusive edition. You can pre-order that on our website right now.
And this base.
The base. So if you guys are familiar with Rebels, of course, this is based on her showdown with Darth Vader in Malachor. There's an accompanying art print that we'll see later today in our art gallery tour. Little, spoilers for the rest of what's to come today. But that's Ahsoka Tano Between Worlds by Darren Tan. And so you get a little bit more of the Darth Vader side, of course, because that was such a big deal in her journey. And before we move on, I do want to point out a little bit of an Easter egg in this base, because she is dueling Darth Vader. But no matter where he is, even if he's not physically a part of this piece, he's always with her, and he trained her.
In the back of her mind, in her heart.
And maybe beneath her feet. If you guys take a look. If
I had to turn my head.
This is the back side of his helmet. Take a look at that. We've got Darth Vader in the base. That's a nice little Easter egg going on as the Sith Temple on Malachor is crumbling around her.
Just like their relationship has crumbled.
Oh, geez. Oh, wah, wah. But before we go on, we do want to call out, we've mentioned a couple times, this pedestal specifically was provided by Pedestal Source. They've furnished most of this convention's pedestals, the ones with the lights you can see. This is a great display. I mean, a lot of collectors are always asking us, how do you display your pieces? What is the best way to kind of have a luxury display for these luxury pieces? I mean, you want to take careful consideration.
Right, because you could put it on a coffee table, and then you can bump into it, knock it over, but it's not as nice as when you have a nice.
You could also have a statement piece with built-in lights, so you guys can check out side.show/pedestal source to see what they're offering. And this week only, you can get 10% off an online purchase. Maybe for something that you have on pre-order, you can start getting a setup in your home ready for when these pieces come in. And you can take 10% off with the code Sideshow Con 2021.
This week only.
This week only at side.show/pedestal source. You guys will see these throughout the show. There's also color changing effects. We'll get into that a little bit on today's afternoon tour, but you guys saw that with the Darth Vader.
Darth Vader had it in red, which actually really makes, again, that's something that makes it pop. I mean, the color change you can put on a statue can make that pop even more.
Yeah, and the white here is really nice for Ahsoka because it helps catch the light in her lightsabers and just really emphasizes the brightness around her in her portrait.
Yeah.
So that is Pedestal Source. Thank you guys so much. You guys will be seeing lots of that this week.
A lot of it.
But we've got more Star Wars for you. Another massive piece.
I'm going to stand next to this so they can really see how tall, because I mean,
Him.
look who it is.
Look, this is the 1-to-1 scale Salacious Crumb replica by Regal Robot.
Regal Robot really got this. This is amazing.
So again, if you are like me or Alex, this is 1-to-1 scale. This is the as close as you will get to the real creature. Now this is a labor of love. This is meticulously recreated based on extensive studying of the original prop puppet from Lucasfilm.
Even the little hair on his ears, like they went that far to go, oh, we'll put a little extra on his ears. The eyes, though.
Yeah.
These are glass eyes?
These are glass eyes and faux hair.
Yeah, and makes it, again, that lifelike factor with the eyes and the hair. It's killing me.
And a carefully recreated resin piece. I mean, Salacious B. Crumb is not necessarily the prettiest guy in Jabba's palace. That's what they've got Ula for.
Yeah.
But this is an amazing recreation. This has a signature, there's a signature edition that is only 150 pieces. These are made in Los Angeles and finished by FX artists in their New York studio for Regal Robot. And the signature edition has a double-signed, like a metal plaque.
Oh, that's really cool.
With Tim McVie, who was the original character designer or I'm sorry, I think it's Tom McVie and Tim Rose, the original performer for Salacious Crumb.
Look at the crinkling in the ears. It's so lifelike. I mean, I feel like I'm on the set.
I love the almost kind of stony. I know he's not stony. He's a lizard monkey, so he does have the scaly, I guess would be better. Scaly aspects around his eyes. There's a little bit of a gloss to his beak. You can almost hear him laughing. He doesn't actually laugh. If he does in the middle of the evening while his place is dark, I will be terrified. But as far as we know, he doesn't laugh. But again, look at the gloss on the fingernails too, and the little feet.
His little toes.
So he does come. You guys are seeing him on a specialized resin pedestal platform. We've got some of the engravings from Jabba's palace and a nice faux leather kind of rug seat for him.
And again, I always get caught up in the paint apps and the sculpting of when you have stone that looks like stone.
Yeah.
Because they do all that really great paint. I mean, it's like concrete block right here. I love it. Anyways, faux leather.
Definitely not a concrete block, but it can.
Whatever.
Right. No, but to the untrained eye. No, I'm not saying you're an untrained eye. Amazingly beautiful, but you can display him off of this. So if you have a more specialized seat, and the limbs are removable, very delicate, but they are removable for easy transport and then reassembling. But it is otherwise a static piece. But just look at that. There's still so much life and movement in it.
Look at his little neck with a little loose neck skin. I want to poke it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first Kowakian lizard monkey I've ever been face to face with in my life. But this is it is mind-boggling.
Yeah.
Like Regal Robot spared no expense with the details on this piece.
Knocked it out of the park with this one.
So it will be available for pre-order sometime about mid-August, I think they're shooting for. It will retail for $3,999, and I believe you can check that out on our website. I think he has a preview page now, should be live.
Yeah.
So sideshow.com/coming soon.
Yeah.
RSVP to be notified, and you can have your very own court jester.
Just laughing at me all the time in the corner of my bedroom.
You're like, hey, I don't like that look you're giving me, Salacious B. Crumb. Just an amazing piece. So next up, we're going to take you guys through the world of Hot Toys.
Hot Toys.
We have a plethora of pieces. I mean, if you thought that was a lot of stuff we just showed you, get ready.
We haven't even really started yet.
Yeah, we're only getting started here. So let's get started. Again, we see the pedestal source light up platform. We've got here accompanying a battle droid and STAP 6-scale figure.
I'm so excited
set.
to have a battle droid in my collection in my future now. I'm so excited.
I'm going to put it all on the table here. I love Star Wars. I love Princess Leia. I love all our heroines. But I'm a droid collector.
Yeah.
I am a droid collector. I love the battle droids so much. I think their lot in life is quite a sad one. But we've got him here on a single trooper aerial platform. That's what STAP stands for. Like an AT-AT. I'm not sure if it's AT-AT or if it's STAP or STAP.
I got yelled at for calling it AT-AT once, so I'm going AT-AT.
Okay, so let us know in the comments, is it STAP or STAP? These pieces are highly articulated. This is fully sculpted. He doesn't have a costume to speak of, but Hot Toys has done an amazing job. Again, recreating all of those different kind of joints, pistons. They've got the 2-prong fingers. You can specially mount him on the STAP, and it does have that kind of lifted base.
More great weathering to make the metal look rusted and used and battle-worn.
Yeah, so these aren't just the fresh out of the Geonosis factory droids. We've got, this is someone who's been in the line of the Clone Wars for quite some time. And again, even the blaster fire that you can see on the front of the single trooper aerial platform. Maybe I'll just say the whole name
every single time
to avoid any confusion. But this is coming soon. Again, this is a preview from Hot Toys. I love the way it can also like grip the handles on.
Grips the handles, and the feet just land in the foot pedestals.
Yeah, and these droids are deceptively simple, but there are so many different ways to pose them, and there's just a lot of fun joints, the head articulation, because I have a couple of the other droids in my collection, and just I love these pieces so much. So if you too are a droid collector, if you're looking to maybe buff up your separatist army, if you've got General Grievous on the way and you want to give him
you need some backup, right?
Yeah, of course.
He needs a posse.
Then you're going to want to pre-order this, but you're going to want to make sure you RSVP to be notified when these guys launch into battle.
I will do that right now.
Excellent. Sideshow.com/coming soon. All right, up next, we've got a couple pieces here. These are sold separately, but they look so great together.
Two great things that go great together.
Hope you guys watched all of The Mandalorian, including that sweet little stinger at the end that we got for the book of Boba Fett.
Otherwise, spoiler alert.
Otherwise, spoiler alert, but this show, this show is a minefield for spoiler alerts. We've got the Boba Fett repainted armor with Throne deluxe version, and then we've got individually the Fennec Shand 6-scale figure. Let's start with Fennec Shand.
I am a little overwhelmed because I'm so excited that she's here. But yes, let's talk about it.
You know, that was one of those things where we were all so excited after the Mando premiered, and we were like, when are we going to get the merch? When are we going to get the merch? And now they're just rolling full steam ahead. The second season feels like it barely ended, and now we've got Fennec Shand, and we've got more to look forward to from these two characters. I will say she is my favorite new character in the Star Wars universe. We see her here, of course, with her amazing helmet. So cool. And let's see if cameraman Sam can get in a little closer to show there is actually eyes and a nose, and there's part of a portrait in there. So that's a really cool way you can look if you've got different angles on her. Of course, if she's focusing downward with her kind of sniper rifle.
It's really perfect for posing, you know, because if you're doing the sniper rifle, you want to get the full Fennec Shand experience. You know, you can,
full Fennec.
You want the full Fennec. I mean, you have to have the eyes in there, and just seeing her.
It's
in
so
there,
mysterious.
She's so intense.
And she has so many amazing patterns going on in the fabric of her costume alone. I'll let Sam get in there, take a closer look, but even from the kind of tassets of her belt to the fabric on her shoulders, there are different patterns going on.
It's not just flat, it's textured, you know.
Hexagons and kind of chevrons going on. Those are the.
I love these words that you're bringing out. These are great words.
Only a few patterns that I know. Thank you. Just a really meticulously detailed fabric costume. Also, cosplayers, heads up. Hot Toys is always one of the just really kind of premier sources for where you can get your costume information.
Yeah.
She's also got the sculpted gauntlets and the boots, and she's got beautiful pops of orange everywhere throughout her costume. Of course, she's even got it in her braid that is going down her back.
Yeah, which you can see it from the side over there. But then we get to Boba.
Then we get to Boba. Yeah. So I think one of the coolest things about this is it is his repainted armor. As we saw, he reclaimed it, he refurbished it. But we do see, and we'll getting a little ahead of myself, but there's another character in this lineup that has the damaged version of the Boba Fett armor. Right. You can see in the textures on the repaint where there are those sustained elements that Boba himself covered up.
Right, yeah, he painted it, but you know that it was damaged underneath. You can tell by the application that they did. You can still see
the textures, and of course you still see the dent in his helmet. But it is very vibrant, and he does have that amazing fabric costume. That's the much more elaborate fabric costume than we saw from him, as parts of his armor are missing or need to be refurbished. But I love the pants he's got going on.
I love the cloth pants that he kept. I love that he kept that as part of his outfit, because that's part of him now.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So that he kept that, and they captured that here really well.
Yes.
And then he added all the extra pieces to the arms.
Yeah, and I love the kind of the cords that go from his wrist gauntlets to the jetpack, because he of course does have the jetpack on as well, and that kind of the faux leather belt again going on with that really cool buckle. Just a lot going on here, super intimidating, and of course we've got the detailed throne.
The throne.
We can't forget that. I mean, every figure comes with its own base, but this one comes with
a throne.
The base.
It comes with the base of all bases, and
taken from Bib Fortuna.
Poor Bib Fortuna, but you know what?
You know what? He looks like he did okay for himself, but didn't count on Boba Fett coming back.
Didn't count on Boba Fett, but the metal and the weathering effect that they have here on the metal.
Yeah, with that slight patina, the little green aspect to the faux bronzed paint.
And again, you know, you can tell that this has been a dirty throne. This has been well used throne, because it's not just one color. It is definitely a used chair.
Yeah, and he is available for pre-order on our website right now. There is a deluxe collectible set edition, as I mentioned earlier, that does come with the unhelmeted portrait with the likeness of actor Temuera Morrison. Yeah. So you guys, again, with the really cool scarred portrait that we saw in the series.
They did such an amazing job with that.
Now, both of these characters are sold separately. Boba Fett is up for pre-order on our site, as I mentioned. Fennec Shand is coming soon, but you guys are going to want to have these both in your collection before we get into Book of Boba Fett. That is such a good look.
And this is just the iconic moment. You know, this is the moment when you're watching and you're like, this is the beginning. This is what just happened.
Yep.
And you're seeing it there.
Yeah, and when Fennec Shand goes up for pre-order, we'll have a little bit more information about which accessories she all comes with. But of course, we've seen her with 2 very crucial pieces, and then Boba Fett as well. Number of swap-out hands, number of blasters and rifles, as any good bounty hunter has.
They need to be equipped. They need to be prepared.
Speaking of an equipped bounty hunter,
I don't know if I can handle this. This is intense.
This is amazing. So before we even get too close in here, guys, want you to see, we're looking at a bunch of Hot Toys 6 scale figures. alongside a quarter scale figure from Hot Toys. I mean, when Hot Toys started to introduce these quarter scales, kind of blew my mind. That is roughly the size of a premium format figure, but this is an articulated character.
Fully articulated.
With a fully recreated costume, a number of accessories so you can change your pose. So this is the Mandalorian and Child Deluxe quarter scale set by Hot Toys.
Look at this base. I'm interrupting about this base.
Please do.
Base with IG-11, we have a Mandalorian helmet, fully damaged, all this melting effect. You have the Beskar with the, with the Mythosaur, like built right into it. This is such an intense base.
Yeah.
Alone. And I mean, it's almost, like you said, it's the size of a premium format with the size, but it's a Hot Toy fully articulated piece. It is intense. All right, sorry.
No, thank you.
I just love it.
I also want to call out, he's got a heavy artillery blaster, which itself is longer than most 6-scale figures are tall.
I mean,
look at that thing.
That looks like something I would have in my car to like lift it up. It's huge. It's a tremendous piece.
But you've got the swap out hands for gripping and holding onto that. You can pose it like we have here. I love that there are those clear backs to the figure stands, the kind of supports there. So it really doesn't take away. You don't see a giant rod.
Doesn't take you out of the moment.
Yeah, and then of course it's even better for the hover pram alongside, where we've got Grogu.
It's like a proximity piece that floats.
It's a proximity piece that's included, and it looks like it floats. It's also, we can see that there's like a degree of swivel on it.
Yeah.
With the screw there and the way that it pivots into the base, so you can also decide how close or how far away Grogu is.
And look at him.
Grogu also has a fully tailored costume.
It's
so
all cloth
soft.
and it's soft, and look at his face.
I
Sorry.
know, just excited for a big, wide adventure. Grogu also has a number of swap out hands, as well as swap out ears, and I believe 2 different expressions that you can have on the figure. So again, huge variety going on with this piece. I mean, this is just one of, dare I say, a million different configurations you could possibly have. And that's one of my favorite things, is everybody's collection is going to look so different.
Completely different. You don't know how you're going to want to display yours. You don't know what kind of pose, action pose. I mean, the gunslinger pose back there, you can want to do that. But then you could do anything with Grogu as well.
Yeah, and the hover pram also comes with the kind of like closed element. So you could have the bassinet closed. You could have Grogu walking alongside the Mando.
And again, a lot of that weathering.
Yeah, that hover pram has seen some action too. Like seriously, that's
it has seen better
very
days.
Protected little bassinet.
Yeah.
With a nice red interior as well. Just so much going on here. And then of course Mando's got his Mudhorn signet on the shoulder. Can't forget that. But I do love the wear and tear on different pieces of armor. It's
like down here up on the knee, you get all those, like this has seen battle.
Yeah, and the that one piece on his thigh that's a little duller than the rest because he's been through it.
Yeah.
And it's just this is
no
amazing.
time to polish. Got to go to the next job.
Yeah, that's a job for the armorer who might be able to help out with that. But this is available for pre-order on our website right now. So if you are as in love as we are, you can hop right over to sideshow.com, check out the Hot Toys page. But speaking of the armorer, let's get back to some 6 scales. We've got so many here, lots of Mandos to Grutas, Marshals. Everything is going on here. So let's actually start up. If I may, let's start with the droid.
Of course.
Get him out of the way first. My preferential favorite. I also love the B2 Super Battle Droids.
Again, I was so thrilled that they had the regular droid, and now we have the Super Battle Droid.
Yes, so if you're ready to take the next step in your Separatist army, we do have the Super Battle Droid. Now this is actually from The Mandalorian. This is the flashback of the B2 Super Battle Droid, but the good thing is, because they have been used throughout conflict in the galaxy, you can tailor it to your specific collection needs. So whether you are a Mandalorian collector,
or prequel series collector, you can add it to your
this makes a great addition alongside the one behind it, the Death Watch Mandalorian, for flashback sequences. But again, articulated, really great. You can see that there's some interesting degrees of motion. I really like where the B1 battle droids have the kind of 2-prong hand. This has a very segmented grip.
Almost like a claw. Like a claw.
Larger fists. We've got the legs as well. We've got the specialized figure stand, and it does have some footprints in it, kind of the sandy terrain. So I like that it suggests here's where you could put your figure, or you can display them walking off.
They even have it like behind it, so it's behind it like as someone has walked through here. It's not just foot stands.
Even giving a sense of movement to the base, which is often just an accessory to the end of your pose collection. Now, we've also got the Death Watch Mandalorian, as I mentioned. This is available for pre-order on our website right now. One of many beautiful, beautiful Mandalorian armors. I love the way Hot Toys is flexing with they're flexing their creativity, their paint applications, the costume tailoring, because every single Mandalorian character's armor is different.
Unique. It's unique to them. They've seen their own battles, they've seen their own action, and they have their own decorations.
Yeah.
And
from the Death Watch to the Night Owls to Din Djarin to Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
Everything is slightly different. So, of course, this is based again on the Death Watch Mando who saved Din Djarin, or one of the many who was in that kind of rescue.
Which pairs up really well with the battle droid.
Yes, excellent. If we get around on this side, you might actually be able to see there's rocket fire effects in the blast, or in the jetpack.
In the jetpack,
which is exceptional because Hot Toys also gives you the dynamic figure stand for some of these characters who have the ability to leap and jump and fly. So you can really get some use out of the thruster fire accessories. Also comes
recreate all your scenes.
Yeah. Also comes with some like rifles and blasters, and the stitching in the costume beneath the armor pieces is really.
That's something I always loved about their armor, is that it's a mixture of armor and just comfortable fabric.
Yeah,
and it's done really well here.
Yeah, it's just very unique. You can see, like, I mean, I always gravitate towards what's on the thigh armor for everybody, what's on your shoulder pauldron, because that is a huge signifier of who you stand for, what you stand for,
and who you are as a person.
Yeah. So speaking of that, someone who helped define Din Djarin, we're going to take a look at the Armorer 6-scale figure. This is a Summer Toy Fair exclusive by Hot Toys, and I'm so excited.
It was heavily requested. Like everyone, this was like you always saw people saying like, I would love the armor, I would love the armor. Seeing little kids cosplaying as the armor, like armor, and now we have it here. It's beautiful.
And never let it be said that Hot Toys doesn't listen to fans. I mean, this is amazing, and it's such a cool representation of yet a newer Mandalorian character, a very important female character who just gives even more lore to the world. And I love that we get to see, when we get to Bo-Katan, the differing Mandalorian ideals, the traditionalists versus the kind of rebels.
You get the whole lore, and she gave it such a depth and intensity, and she was a mentor figure. There was so much about her that I think that's why she was so beloved.
Yes, and so Hot Toys here has recreated the first and most striking parts, I think, are her unique helmet in that really kind of bronze gold, very dark color.
Gladiatorial.
Yeah, I love with the very Spartan kind of nose bridge, whereas other Mandos have the clean visor or different shapes.
Right.
She's got the very Spartan with the horns and a faux fur cape.
The fur around the cape is killing me. It's killing me.
I mean,
it's
she makes good armor, but she dresses well too.
Yeah, she knows.
The really nice kind of maroon or crimson breastplate. She's got the kind of faux leather skirt as well, tailored fabric elements, and it looks like she actually has fabric boot covers, where most of these characters have sculpted. I believe that is a fabric boot cover.
It looks it, yeah.
Which is amazing. She also, of course, comes with some of her tools and a unique figure backdrop, not only the specialized nameplate and stand, but she does come with that backdrop you guys see for the kind of accessories to her.
And I love the bases on this one, because I love all the sand-based bases, but these, I love the metal grating.
Yeah, like the industrial style. Yeah, so let's move up to the Mandalorian, who's got a fresh set of armor. This is the Mandalorian Deluxe 6-scale figure with chrome-plated Beskar, but more importantly, I think you guys are seeing the unhelmeted portrait for one of the first times. I know Hot Toys did reveal it previously, but
seeing it in
debut.
person is beautiful, and seeing it here is amazing.
And I want to just say that I'm seeing Sam's camera view right now. The Darksaber in his hand looks amazing because of the way that they've painted that outer white, and the way that it just looks so cool.
It would be tough to get it. I don't know if we can get that camera angle from this side, but even the jetpack, the pack is chromed out. It is so shiny. This thing is the shiniest of shiny.
The Beskar spear as well. I mean, this is the Mando as he is loaded up with Beskar. But yes, this is the new version of the character with additional accessories. He also comes with a standing Grogu, which we don't have on display here, but you do see the fabric cape as well, with the wear and tear on the fringes.
It looks extra damaged. Do you know what I mean?
Wire. Yeah, I mean,
it's definitely a season 2.
I would say at this point in the season, not only physical damage, but there's been a lot of emotional damage. We've been through the ringer at this point, but this is just an amazing representation of the character.
The way they captured the emotion on the face is gets me.
And seeing that alongside, you can have him with his helmet on. I believe it's a separate portrait. You don't put the helmet on top of the portrait because it would preserve, they want to preserve the paint, so it is separate portraits. But just the stoicism of the visor on the mask and then the man behind that.
Like you finally get to see like no emotion, now we have all emotion.
All emotion, and it's heartbreaking, but it's so good. And again, we do have that Grogu, or he is included, so you can display him alongside that, and we do have the specialized figure base. But if you want additional Grogus, I mean, Hot Toys has been amazing. I mean, they give the people what they want, and everybody wants Grogu.
Everyone wants more Grogu.
Well, then what's better than more Grogu in its own set? We've got a Grogu 6th scale set. In May the 4th, we did premiere another set that had a loft cat, had a basket, but this is the 2nd edition of the Grogu 6th scale accessory set. We see we've got 2 unique figures of the child, of course, one in the ceramic vase, and
I love
one,
when he's hiding in the base.
He's so cute. I love that's like the widest I think I've seen his eyes
ever been.
Yeah, and then closed eyes, focusing very hard as he's meditating on Tython, reaching out across the galaxy to other Force users and letting himself be known. And I love the detail around the rock. I don't know what those symbols mean exactly, but it is a very powerful locus for the Force and for Jedi communication.
Then, of course, we have a lot of weathering, makes it look real, makes it look, realistic rocks. But then I want to talk about the very controversial egg canister.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about the very controversial egg canister. Look at, the details on that and all the individual eggs. You can see them floating in there.
And it's semi-translucent, so if you got some nice light on that, you'd really get to see the eggs floating in there. That blue it's like, I'm sorry, it looks like Boba to me.
Yeah.
Like not Mr. Fett, but the drink Boba. So
Boba
I could sympathize with Grogu as to why that looks delicious.
It
I know
looks
better.
delicious, but
I know better.
It's very controversial, I know, but it's beautiful.
Speaking of delicious and dangerous things, we've also got the soup.
The soup. The soup.
Was it a chowder? I don't remember what the specific name when he ordered it.
And it comes down from that tube.
Before we meet the Mama Core, we get the little tentacled creature. We've also got another kind of dish, and we've got a creature and a kind of contraption from the ship as well, like a scanner pad.
I think that's one of the hatched eggs in that larger bowl.
Oh,
that's one of the.
Oh my goodness, that's not a soup. That's not a soup.
Well, for
that's a child.
For Grogu, it's a soup.
Yes, but I take back what I said. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for clarifying and averting a potential disaster. But there's just so many cute accessories here, and again, takes you to different locations, different planets across the galaxy. So if you have the Mandalorian in your collection, you've got even more options now.
You build your own environment.
I mean, maybe this might be a little sadistic, but if you're pre-ordering the Dark Trooper that was revealed at previous cons, if you're pre-ordering the Dark Trooper, that looks great with the Tython rock, because that is the scene where they capture Grogu. There is just countless configurations.
Countless configurations, countless scenes that you want to build, especially with, we always like to see our fan photographers showing off what they do with their toys. I mean, this will give you endless possibilities.
Right. Now, let's take it down to Miss Ahsoka Tano, who made her live action debut. I mean, we've had beautiful animated content with her. She became a beloved fan favorite, but fans were electric when we got her live action appearance.
Yeah, Rosario Dawson killed it as that character, and when she showed up on screen, literally everyone I know was screaming. You could almost hear people screaming around.
You sense a disturbance in the Force, like 1,000 million voices crying out because Rosario Dawson showed up. This is an amazing representation of her. So Hot Toys has done a Clone Wars inspired, in their more realistic version of Ahsoka, but this is specifically the Mandalorian 6 scale figure from their television masterpiece series. It's not a stretch to see why it's named such. She has a beautiful fabric costume, and again, like I was calling out with Fennec Shand, the patterns on her pants are so unique. She's got those tassets quite similar to the premium format that we showed from Rebels. You can see that they've got kind of, I think it's like a dye sublimated, like a glossier design on top.
On top of that, yeah.
She's got those detailed belts. She's got those arm guards with those unique diamond patterns going up the sleeve.
Up the sleeve and the side, and the seamless arms, seamless arms for posing.
Yeah, and she's got great muscles.
She's got great muscles. I got to go to her gym.
She also comes with her signature lightsabers, one shorter than the other. She also comes with motion blades. Hot Toys does a great job with the kind of swoop effect, so you can get some actual Jedi action.
And that's another one that's great when you have a light that hits it the right way. It gives it that real full life size.
Yes, and we've got in the portrait, of course, her detailed Leku and Montrals as well. Very unique and different shape than we saw in the animated. And she does have a separate rolling eyeball feature. Can't display that for you right now, and I couldn't explain how it works, but Hot Toys has promised magic, and that is a way that you can refocus the direction in which your figure is looking. So
which is perfect for a battle pose, because you could have, if you're setting up your little display, you could have enemy to the left, enemy to the right. Where's she looking?
And she's got that unique kind of environment base, but she also has a courtyard themed backdrop. And I just want to call out real quick, I love her shoes. There's some amazing treads, so eventually when down the line when we get to Unsealed and Revealed, the guy's got a tread watch.
He's going to tread watch that so hard.
It is amazing, but I love the segmented toes. It's just so unique because again, we perceive these humanoid characters, but there's unique costumes and outfits made to accompany anyone in the Star Wars universe. So then also we've got a trio of armored up characters that we wanted to show you guys. Let's just see if we can get all the Night Owls here together really quick.
Night Owl.
I'm going to be quick on Bo-Katan because we have featured her at previous shows, but we did want to show you guys the first reveal of her two companions. We've got Axe Woves and Koska Reeves. And I just love their armors because, again, pay attention to the differences in Mandalorian style.
Right. You have Koska has the more shaped-in diamond on the cheek. We call them the cheeks. They're not the cheeks. Whatever you want to call on the arm, but on the cheek area, it's more like this diamond pattern cut in, and even the visor is shaped differently.
Yeah, and those and the shadowing that it gets, because Bo-Katan has roughly the same shape, but hers is painted over with the white aspects to kind of emulate the Night Owl symbol, which is featured on their shoulder pauldrons, of course. And then we've got Axe Woves, who incorporates more of the gray. And again, beneath those armor elements, we've got the immaculately detailed costumes, all the stitching. I wish you guys could be here with us to see this stuff, but just the number of kind of pleats and folds and different aspects to the costumes that they put together. And again, we see those dynamic figure stands.
And the weathering damage on the armor. I get obsessed and hyper-focused on weathering damage because that's what really brings you and
all
makes
the dents, all the scratches.
All the dents, all the scratches.
I mean, Axe Woves has this like a claw mark there, which is really cool. And so we've got blaster fire, we've got scratch marks, maybe from fighting a creature. I mean, this trio has been all over. So if you've got Bo-Katan in your pre-order waitlist already, or you're on deck for her,
you need the entourage.
Yeah, you need the entourage. I mean, of all the Night Owls, I don't want to pick favorites, but Koska Reeves' armor, just the blue. I think it's just the overwhelming amount of blue. That's so visually appealing to me, and I love that so much. But
and I didn't want to bring it up because when we were looking at the Grogu, I didn't want to get too far ahead, but I just keep thinking about that scene where she eats the little squid. But she had such a tough persona, such a forward, just a tough, untouchable persona, and I'm really glad. I feel like they get that in her body movement that they have there.
Yeah, and again, those dynamic figure stands, so you can get the jumping movement. Now, because these are prototypes for Axe Woves and Koska Reeves, we don't have all the specific details of what they will come with, but again, if it's anything like their previous releases, if it's anything like Bo-Katan, they're going to be well armed and fully articulated and just really ready to be posed for battle.
Just a couple of guns, maybe, just a couple of weapons.
Yeah, so next up, let's talk about a guy who's got the armor, but does he deserve to wear it?
Did he get the armor? Did he earn the armor?
How did he get the armor? We've got the Cobb Vanth 6-scale figure. I was so excited about this one because it was just the Mando goes so many places and meets so many people. And this was just such a standout character because I don't know if you're familiar, or our audience at home, Cobb Vanth was actually from a novel before he made his live action debut. He was from one of the stories by Chuck Wendig in the Star Wars universe, and I forget the title specifically, but this was a literary character who made the leap. So it's not always movies to comics to animation. Right. We've also got the Star Wars literature world there. But as we mentioned earlier, this is Boba Fett's armor as it was seen in one of its worst states. Reclaimed.
The wrist. What am I trying to say here?
The gauntlet?
The gauntlet. His gauntlet is so damaged. is so weathered. It is so rusty. It has seen so much pain and action, and that is the one. That's where my eye went first.
Yeah.
Because the level of damage on it. But it continues on the chest, on the helmet. I mean, this thing has been through the ringer.
Everything is nicely tinged with the silver where all of the armor's paint is peeling off. And now this is a great a comparison point between, now we see Cobb Vanth, we do have the Boba Fett in the damaged armor, and now we've got the Boba Fett with the repainted armor coming. So you can compare the evolution, the story, the ways in which the damage is covered up. And this is, of course, our Marshal of Mos Pelgo. I just love, again, bringing that gunslinger spaghetti western back, as played, of course, by Timothy Oliphant.
And I feel that the red scarf is a throwback to the spaghetti westerns, because all those cowboys, they used to wear the red scarf around their neck.
Yep, and he's just got, it's so interesting now to see the aspects of Boba Fett's armor that he has reclaimed with the clothing of just a regular guy beneath it. I mean, he's anything but regular, but just the idea with which, but I love what he did with the armor, whether or not he deserved to wear it, because some Mandalorians take their armor extremely seriously.
He was a good guy.
He used it to bring peace. He used it to marshal. He used it to kind of unify a town. And I know that we had some issues with the Crate Dragon and the Tusken Raiders, but who hasn't in our day? But the story of
Just this morning.
Cobb Vanth and the armor and the taking down the Crate Dragon and the way that Din Djarin gets him to relinquish that is just such a cool story.
That was a great throwback to like Knights of the Old Republic, like all these little missions that you get to go on.
Yeah, just a really great thing. So we are so excited to have this prototype here on display for you guys, so you can see that. Just get really excited. The world of the Mandalorian is about to explode here from Hot Toys. So I know we kind of skipped over Bo-Katan, but let's go back to her real quick.
Yeah, because I'm just going to say
some,
that. From the animated series on through the live action, and Katie Sackhoff, the face sculpt on this is uncanny. Yeah. It is so great.
Just a fantastic, fantastic look. And we do see here, she has the unhelmeted portrait, and she can wear, there's a helmeted portrait as well. Just the leader of the Night Owls. And I want to see if we can kind of, the stitching on the shoulders here is just amazing. Just the strange, again, not a costumer. I don't know what the function of that is for, but just the way that Hot Toys has recreated that in such a scale. And yeah, I sometimes forget that she was animated first. I mean, it's just seeing the world of Mandalorian.
And voiced by the same person.
Oh my goodness, and what a thrill that must have been for her to
jump from animated to live action. See me.
She got to take down Titus Welliver.
I know.
Friend of Sideshow, super collector, Bosch himself. She got to take down Titus Welliver as an Imperial agent.
Imperial agent, yeah. And then, again, I'm gonna go. I feel like I'm repeating myself with the weathering, but if you look down at the boots themselves, I mean, these have walked. I wouldn't know how to walk a mile in her boots. Right? She has lived, she has seen so much battle, and her weapons, she's got so many. She's got the gun on one side. Is that a knife on the other side?
I'm seeing the pistol.
Oh, there's two pistols on each side?
Yeah.
And then she's got her weapons behind her, and the jetpack. I love this. I'm just such a big fan of Katie Sackhoff and Bo-Katan.
Yeah, I mean, she's great, and we do get to see she has the matching kind of industrial style. I call it the industrial style flooring, but I guess the ship base kind of flooring from their kind of heist. Here, she has a little bit more of that. We see some of the railing and the specialized, but she also has that dynamic figure stand, again, for getting those poses. And the dynamic figure stands are really great. It does take a little bit of practice learning to balance a figure midair. I speak from experience, but they clip really nicely around the waist of the character, but you can also utilize that clip for interesting poses. The flex is firm. It is not going to just slip and fall on you. I mean, you see all these characters who are midair. They are balanced.
It's thin enough that when you're posing it for photography, because when I look at things, I look about posing them for taking pictures of it. I love that these newer figure stands, they have the thinner thing that still holds up all the weight, and you can sort of hide it in your pose to take photos.
Yeah, and so that is just one of those many aspects of, it's all a part of the collectible experience. From the getting it in your hand to unboxing to removing the plastic to figuring out that pose and how are you going to support it. I mean, you can just look at the range of poses and characters we have here. We've got wide stances, we've got airborne, we've got multiple accessories in hand. It's just such a unique experience.
And that armor needs, I mean, we call them her tools, but then I love them as her weapons. I love them as her weapons.
I mean, I'm sure if it came down to it, she could get into the action. I mean, that is the way of the Mandalore. You're both hunter and prey.
Hunter and prey.
But I just love seeing that there. And now we've got another version of the Din Djarin, but we do have an accessory here. So this one's actually, we're showcasing the swoop bike here. This is scaled to, of course, fit the Mandalorian, so we see the swoop bike, but the figure is sold separately. What does come with the swoop bike, though, is Grogu.
Little Grogu.
This is another specially developed Grogu with a unique head sculpt, to be more accurate. This is specifically the windswept ears. I mean, he does have a little bit of the excitement on his face. We've seen...
Well, he loves going for a ride.
He's been on a lot of different bikes, going different speeds, but I love that kind of windswept ears. So you do get a hopeful sense of adventure here.
Because he's just having fun. Everyone else is really stressed. He's just like, this is a great time.
You know, Grogu is 50 years old, very smart and perceptive, but I wonder if he has any understanding of just how much is going on around him. There are fabric elements on the swoop bike, which is really cool. Of course, we see the pouch, and there's kind of like the seat as well that the character can sit on.
I know that the gun has a spot that you can lock the gun onto the rifle has a lock right there that you can put it on.
Yes, and then we do have the specialized wasteland base, and again, dynamic figure stand.
Dynamic figure stand. So it's not sitting on the ground. It is flying. You can have an action pose for your photography or for your shelf, and this is a big piece.
Yeah, you can have it going full throttle, tilt it different ways. This is. I would love to compare it to that heavy artillery gun that the quarter scale is holding. I know we can't really do that here, but this is a very, very long and detailed piece. You can see all of the very nice mechanism up in here, all the little different connectors and wires.
And the rivets of everything connecting together.
Yeah,
and
I mean, it's almost as if Hot Toys fully constructed this. I mean, it's not just they didn't take the easy way. There are rivets, and you can see how everything fits together.
And it matches on either side. I'm such a nerd for this right now, but the fact that the rivets are on this side and they match up on the other side, I'm such a geek for that.
You're such a geek, but that's exactly what Hot Toys does this for. I mean, and again, that battle damage, this is not the prettiest bike in the shop.
That looks a lot like my car.
But it still goes. It still goes. I mean, if it gets you where it needs to go, where you need to go, that's all you can ask for. And I don't think Din Djarin is too picky.
He's not too picky.
Too picky about that. But the swoop bike is available for pre-order on our website right now, so you can check that out at sideshow.com. Now, there are still more Hot Toys in this booth. There are still more Star Wars pieces in this booth. There's even other licenses and manufacturers we haven't gotten to yet, but we're going to wrap it up for the first tour of the day. Don't fret. We've got other tours coming up. We do have a live from Sideshow Con. I'll be taking you guys through the art gallery today.
We will be taking through the art gallery.
It's a team thing. Yeah. And then at 2 p.m. Pacific, we'll be back in here to show you guys the rest of everything that we know that you're just dying to see. We've got so much going on. I know we've got
Let's hide this. This is good for later. You can't see it.
All right, but for this and all the other pieces, you can go to sideshow.com, side.show/con, also to stay tuned to everything that's going on. We've got schedules for you just so you can keep track of time. I mean, we got to keep track of time,
we have
too.
To keep track of time.
There's so much going on. But Alex, I mean, we've only covered half, so you can't talk about anything that they can't see.
Is this even half? I feel like it's going to keep going.
You can't talk about anything they haven't seen, but what's been your favorite so far?
It's a real toss-up between the Kylo Ren premium format. The face just kills me. And I mean, Salacious Crumb. I mean, come on. I love Salacious Crumb.
Hi. He's like watching us.
He's like, what? He's like, what are you looking at? How about you? What is?
I'm a sucker for droids. I love seeing my B2 Super Battle Droids get represented alongside the STAP. But I think with all of the Mandalorians and all of the armor we've seen, Koska Reeves takes it for me. There's something about that blue that is just so beautiful. And I'm hoping it's picking up on the camera for you guys.
It's a beautiful shade of blue.
Because I mean, Axe Woves is cool with the gray, and we've got the chromed Mandalorian Din Djarin, but that blue on Koska Reeves' armor is just something else for me.
It's mostly blue too, where everyone else has patchwork armor of different colors. Hers is like blue. Pop.
It's so great to see them all alongside one another, so you can highlight all the differences and see where the characters vary and evolve throughout their stories.
Yeah.
All right, so that's all we've got for you guys on this tour. But again, stay tuned to everything we've got going on today. Make sure you're registered for the show. You can do that at side.show/con21. Registration is free. It only benefits you, gives you access to exclusive reward opportunities,
giveaway opportunities,
and what's the word?
Oh yeah,
premium
yeah.
or
you get premium
early
access. You get early access to pre-order some items, so you're going to be notified for the con exclusives. You're going to be notified before anybody else, before the public can order it. You can be one of the first to get in front of that line and order it.
Yeah. So we got a lot going on, and this is just day one, tour one. What? So hope you guys stick around. We'll see you guys later. We're going to toss it back to our friends doing live from Sideshow Con. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, don't forget to let your geek side show.